So if you're going to be divorcing a difficult person, you have to prioritize yourself. You have to take care of yourself. And part of getting organized for one of these difficult divorces involves taking care of yourself first. The reason you're doing this is to have a better life. And that involves, your physical, your mental health, all of those things. So trying to get that together, get that in shape before you go through this process is the best way to do it, because it's the best way to set yourself up for success. In order to improve your life, you have to have a healthy foundation, and that involves how you think, how you feel, all of that stuff. As you're preparing for divorce from a difficult person, it's really important to develop a support network, a support team. And yeah, the lawyers can be part of that, but what else should you do? Getting a really good therapist to help you through the process is an excellent idea. They're independent. You're not in your circle of friends. They can give you objective advice and support because they understand difficult people and what you're going through. But also, if you have the ability to connect with family or reconnect with family and friends who can be there for you as a person, it can really help you better get through the process. When you're divorcing a narcissist or another difficult person, it's imperative that you have excellent legal representation that understands the person that you're dealing with. If you try to do it yourself, or you have an attorney that doesn't understand the unique characteristics of your spouse, you're setting yourself up for disaster. If you don't want your divorce to go the way that your marriage has went, you have to have somebody that understands your husband and can deal with them effectively. It's so important that you document everything when you're getting divorced from a difficult person, and take note of what's happening in the relationship, and not just how the relationship is. Go document the finances. Go out and get the records that allow you to prove what the reality is. Narcissists and other people like them are masters of manipulation. They make things smoke and mirrors, and gathering the evidence of what actually has been happening in the relationship and with the finances is imperative. When you're getting divorced from a narcissist or another difficult person, it's important to go gray rock as the process starts. And what the heck does that mean? Well, it's certainly not a legal term, but it's a term that means you have to cut ties, cut communications with these people. What they really want to do is they want to get you re-engaged in another cycle of abusive interactions. And when you gray rock them, it really means that you're essentially being like a rock. You're there, everything's happening around you, but you're not interacting with the situation. And that's what you have to do with your husband when you're going through one of these difficult divorces, because he's going to want to entice you to react and re-engage you and start another cycle of the abuse. Just say no, go gray rock, don't interact with him. So when you're divorcing somebody who's been emotionally abusive towards you, somebody that controls and manipulates you, maybe they're a narcissist or similar, it's important to minimize your emotional response. Otherwise, it's kind of like being in quicksand. The more you move around, the more you engage with these people, the quicker you're going to fall. And the less you move, the more direct you are, the more you kind of gray rock the situation, the easier it's going to be to keep your head above the fray, your head above the sand, and make progress towards your goals of getting away from this person. When you're approaching divorce from a difficult person, somebody maybe they've manipulated you during the marriage, it's imperative to just say no, to contact with them as much as possible. And really we like to see people get away from the other person if possible, live somewhere else if that's possible. Otherwise, I would tell them communicate through the lawyers. Try not to engage in any direct conversation unless you have young children and there's a need to communicate. Otherwise, if you're in one of those situations, there's certain applications like Talking Parents or My Family Wizard that allow you to communicate about kids without communicating with the other person. But otherwise, just say no to communicating with these people. That's what your lawyers are for. So you're getting out of a toxic relationship and there's kids. What's the number one thing to keep in mind here? First, you have to get yourself in order, but after that, when it comes to the children, it's a great idea to get them working with a really good therapist, sometimes a play therapist, depending on the age, as early as possible in the process, even before the divorce starts, so that you can start understanding the children's feelings. They can develop a relationship with somebody that they're comfortable with as the sometimes pressures of the divorce start to come out.